Hey everybody, hope you're having a good week so far. I hope you're well and staying healthy. As usual, I'm just going to get right into it. Uh, United States food suppliers, some of the largest food suppliers in this country, are having a hard time. It's being reported that they're having a hard time fulfilling orders and keeping up with demand. Ran across an article, I'll link it in the description, said that some of the largest United States food distributors report difficulties keeping up, fulfilling orders. They are mostly citing as a reason a lack of workers, so lack of labor that's weighing on already existing supply chain issues. We know that the supply chain issues have been there for a while. They're going to continue. And this focused a lot on just several layers of different labor shortages. That's just making this worse. And it looks like it's going to continue. It's not going to go away anytime soon. This is going to be a norm for a while, so it looks. It's going to drive up prices even more. So your inflation is going to continue, especially with food, some other items. And you might start seeing more bare shelves. I think I believe I'm beginning to believe that a lot of the bare shelving that you're seeing, the empty shelves, the holes, and all that you're noticing in the stores or that other people are talking about are in large part due to labor shortages, whether it's somewhere else in the supply chain, from the shipping to the processing of the food and the packaging and all of that stuff, to unloading, loading somewhere along the line, and drivers, and to even at the store level where they're putting the stock, where they're stocking the shelves. That's a big issue too, as well. But anyway, back to the article. It said Cisco Corporation, North America's largest food distributor, said they're actually turning away some customers in some areas where demand is exceeding their capacity. It's also driving up the price on certain things, especially chicken, pork, paper products, and so that's all running tight on supplies, on everything. So also cited is labor intensive processing and packaging things like bacon, ribs, chicken wings, and tenders, chicken tenders. So labor shortages, some areas of the country are more challenged by this than others. So that could explain why some people in some areas are not noticing much of a problem in their stores, where they say, "Well, we're fully stocked here, man. We look good." And then some areas, especially some of the larger cities, or even out in some of the rural areas, are noticing more holes in the shelves and consistently being out of certain items that they like. So also cited was delays in shipping, delays for some imported goods like cheese and spices, for sure. And it said expect this to continue through fall. I believe it will just continue right on through 2022 as well. And it looks like I mentioned before, it's different levels of labor shortages. It's from transportation logistics to unloading this stuff, processing, like I said, and stocking the shelves. I really think that's a big deal. I frequent one of the large chains here, not too far from where I live, and I have a neighbor that works there. This guy's older; he's retirement age. I mean, he's well in his 60s, but he's in there almost every time I go in. He's stocking shelves, and I talk to him a lot, and he said that it's not so. In his opinion, he's on the inside there. It's not so much not getting orders in. I mean, they're getting less than they used to, of course, but it's just the challenge for them on the ground level there is getting it from the stockroom out, getting it out on the shelves on the floor. I mean, he's out there stocking, and I notice that. And a lot of times when I'm in there, from the stock crew to the people that are checking people out at their cash registers, it seems like it's rare to see an employee under the age of 40, 45. I mean, a lot of them are older, look older than me. So that's interesting. That's an interesting trend. At least that's out where I live now. Out where I work in another town where we have a large University of Georgia, and I stop at a store right by there before I head home. And now that's a different area. And I go in there, I go into that Publix, and there's a Kroger there. It's a little different mixture of people that are working in there, but I see a lot of older people working in those too. So, and then other things that were mentioned as far as contributing to this problem is continued unemployment benefits. I know a lot of the extended unemployment benefits are done, but the only other stimulus thing I think going on is the child tax credit that's still happening for families who have children, I think under the age of 18, I believe it is. But that will continue monthly. They're getting monthly checks for that. I think that'll continue through the end of the calendar year. And I believe the rent moratorium is still going on in a lot of places. So that continues. And then there's just a reluctance of a lot of people to do in-person employment. So they're trying to find online opportunities or work from home things or side gigs. So Cisco said that they were trying to entice workers and truck drivers with big sign-on bonuses, retention pay for current staff who have been with them. And one manager was quoted as saying, "Finding drivers is quote unquote next to impossible right now." So they anticipate this just to keep on going, and they mentioned that their as far as deliveries to their customers outbound, their on-time delivery is normally around 90%. It has gone down to 50% here currently, and I can imagine I have a feeling that'll continue to get worse, or at least stay that bad through the next several months. I can imagine what it might look like in a few months from now, even 6 months. So keep preparing, of course. Uh, you know, I believe that as far as people working, and I've thought a lot about this. It's an interesting thing. I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, I saw a story where Chick-fil-A is having trouble. They're having to close some of their dining room areas because they're having a lack of workers. So they're just keeping the drive-through open. So, if you're in that situation where you're trying to find a different job or you're not working, I mean, think about, what else you can do. And I think a lot of people, there's a big paradigm shift in working right now. A lot of people are reevaluating their circumstances. They may have seen their parents or grandparents work until they're older and don't have much retirement age left, and they're just working to the bone until they die, so they're looking for a different life, a simpler life. What can you do? What talent do you have? Can you sell something? Can you do something online? So I think a lot of people are just rethinking all of this, especially since the pandemic started a year and a half or so ago. So think about that as well. And some other things, of course, to do, and I know what we're doing in this house is we're preparing. We're preparing to have year-round garden, not just spring. We used to only have a garden in the spring, but we're going to do we're getting more supplies right now while we can. We were going to do a raised beds with wood, but the way wood is right now, we're ordering metal ones, the steel metal looking ones, not real expensive ones, of course, but we're getting that. So the raised beds we're getting a little at the time. This weekend we're going to go out and try to find some seeds. We're looking online too for that. There's a couple of local places here that I want to look at. Soil. Get your soil, your garden soil, or your compost. Be working on that. You can also buy that, but you can make your own compost as well. We're getting grow bags. Actually, we got a few of those already. Pots. We can make more of our own food. It's a hedge against all this stuff, right? And so, like I mentioned before, try to support your local shops, your businesses, your restaurants, even. Another thing we've noticed is eating out is not only more expensive, the food's not as good lately. They're having trouble with labor shortages as well. We're frequenting more of the smaller. There's a couple of family-owned places close to us that, the service is still good as it always has been. The food's still good, so that's where we're going when we do eat out. But we're just trying to make our food more often and do some, grow our own, grow as much as we can. So that's what I would recommend. Get as much supplies as you can while you can right now. Don't wait till spring, and because it may not be there. All right. So I think that's all I have right now. Share your thoughts, of course, on this. What are you doing? Are you trying to grow food? Do you have other plans? What are you trying to get right now that'll help you out? And what do you think about this labor thing? Is it more of a labor problem? Is it more the actual, we're actually low on food nationwide? I mean, I tend to think it's more of a worker issue, at least right now. But anyway, be interesting to see what y'all think about that. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Be aware, be safe out there. God bless you, and I will see you soon.